Good morning. I know it's been a minute, but in my defense, I go for walks every Saturday, every weekend. And I do shoot a video like this. I just don't post it when I get back to the house because I don't. But it's the same old job, this, that. But yeah. This morning I woke up I don't know, I just woke up. I mean, I always wake up. Well, I always wake up until I don't wake up. But I wake up and I'm just kind of like, and that's why I had to make a video. Because when I make these videos, I kind of talk it out and stuff. Or whatever. You guys can go for the ride. Well, let me go back a couple of weeks. Maybe 3 weeks ago, I met someone. I think I mentioned it. I said I was going on a date, but I didn't talk about the date. But yeah, so I met someone, and for the past 3 weeks, we were courting, dating, getting to know each other better. And yeah, it was good. And last week, it ended. And it is what that was. And back to the regular program. All right, let me say it this way. So while I was dating this person, we would talk every day. We would talk from 9 o'clock till 12 every day, which is fucking up my schedule. This is day 105. I didn't make the video. Not that if you're following me, you know I didn't make the video. But every day I make a video, song, lyrics, and all that. But before I met her, I was going to bed around 8 o'clock, waking up at 4. But now I couldn't get up that early anymore. So there's a couple of them I'm recording at 3 in the morning. So I'm just falling asleep. And the lyrics are you wonder why I sound like I'm falling asleep? Because I actually fell asleep when I was right in the beat. But I'm going to keep this going anyway. It's whatever. But it's whatever. You got to make sacrifices. And to her part, she sensed that doing my daily challenges was important, so then she wouldn't call me until she saw the video post up on Instagram. So I've been in relationships or whatever, and it's just can't you just skip it? I'm here. And I was just listen, this is what I'm doing. You're either on board or you're bothering me. And yeah. So it was cool. You're probably well, what happened? Well, nothing happened. Or what happened always happened. I'll get to that. But yeah, well, let me just get that out the way because I won't be spending all this time talking about that. But before I go into the demise, she actually came down here. She lived in Philadelphia, but she came down here and we walked on this trail, which has been one of my things I've been trying to do. I'm not trying to do. I wasn't putting up signs, but I thought it'd be cool to walk with someone on this trail that I walk with every day. And we came down here and it was cool. But right now, when I walked outside this morning, it smelled like newspapers. Not newspapers, but I used to be a paper boy. And this is the time I used to get up in the morning. Actually, I didn't really get up in the morning. I was always late. and I would miss the bus anyway. But yeah. So we were on this trail, the trail I'm always on. But okay. Well, let's see. Cause I got on a sweater and I'm wearing sweats, but it's hot now. I'm not complaining. I was tired of the cold. Pretty soon it's gonna be too hot. Because I think last week I went out at 9, 10, 11 something. By the time I got on my walk, I was sweating. Could you believe it? Sweating in sweatpants. I used to swim in this. I always tell this. I did. I can't imagine getting in there now. I don't know what. I guess if I had a child and they fell in there, I probably would jump in there. Maybe direct them, like, swim. So if I drop my phone, I don't need a phone, man. It's about time to get a new one. Everything's backed up anyway. But let's see here. Yeah, so every day we're talking on the phone, doing that. You go to bed. No, you go to bed. She'd be falling asleep on the phone. I guess why it was cool is she was a teacher, I was a teacher. She did poetry, I rap, which is a kind of poetry. She understood metaphors and similes and all that stuff. When she would listen to the raps that I post up, she's like, oh, I like that one line you said, da-da-da-da. That's rare. I mean, the person I was talking to before, she's like, I don't understand what you do. What do you expect me to do? Become a rapper? I was just... But anyway. But yeah, it ended because I just... So it ended because of this, right? Like I was saying before, I used to get up late to do my paper route. I used to miss the bus. And, I was just disorganized with my time management responsibilities. Now, I would say, 20, 30 years later? 25 years? High school, 16, 15, whatever? Yeah, 20, 25 years later? I'm pretty on point with my time. I ain't never late to work. I'm late when there's traffic, and not like every day there's traffic and you should go early, but like there's an accident traffic and you're in the thing for like an hour. I'd be on time. So if you met me today, you'd be like, oh my gosh, you're always on time. You're so responsible. And I would be quick to say, no, I'm not always on time. Always on time. Sometimes I'm late. But it's really highly unlikely because, 2 reasons. When I was dating someone in Japan, she used to always yell at me for being 5 minutes late. 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. She's like, oh, you're late. And we used to get into these heated discussions. I'd be like, listen, I'm here. It wasn't my fault. What had happened was. And she's like, it's disrespectful. And we almost broke up over that. We were together for like 3 years, but that was going to be one of the points. Like, but when I started doing, I even lost a job. Like, this is Japan. One time I was like 15 minutes from work, and I would show up like a minute late. Again, it was not my fault. What had happened was, I hate anyone that starts so then I walk in there and like, why are you late? I'm like, the train stopped, because this is right after the earthquakes when the aftershocks would stop the trains for random reasons. Or I'd be lost because I'd be on the other side of the town and I'd never been there. But anyway, when I started doing photography, I had to like be there. I had to find a place, pay the person, set up the thing. You only get 2 hours. So if you show up there an hour late, you get 1 hour. For 15 minutes set up, 15 minutes close. I once had a Jamaican woman, she came to the studio late. Then she did her makeup. So she didn't get as many pictures as she wanted. She's like, how come I didn't get as many pictures as I wanted? I said, because you came late. She said, you're trying to cheat me. I said, I'm not trying to cheat you. I said, come at this time. You came, because it was like, studios here, and then to get from the station to the studios, blah, blah, blah. And then she brought like 18 suitcases for an hour shoot. Then you got to put on your makeup, and then you got to, like, there's all this stuff. So I gave her a time that she should show up. But yeah, so I'm saying all that to say, so I used to be not on time, and then I became to be on time, right? And we're gonna switch it up. I've never went this way, but so people who meet me, they're gonna say you're always on time, and that's so great. But the fact is, it wasn't always the case. So how this relates? So high school, even up to Japan, I'm like super difficult as a boyfriend because that's just me, right? And I was talking to my mentor yesterday. I'm like, yeah, you know, we were dating and then we broke up, whatever. We don't even broke up. I was like, it's done. But I was just like, I told her up front, like, listen, I'm difficult. She's like, no, you're not. You're such a da-da-da. Like, listen, I'm like that now, but I'm difficult. No, not you. You're da-da-da-da-da-da. And like, you can't force someone to, like, it's not my aim to. Towards the end, I'm like, you don't, like, maybe I'll get to it. I'm not trying to talk about that all day. I have more important stuff to talk about. But by the end, she's just like, you're so difficult. And I'm just like, what is, oh, it's a duck. I'm like, what is that animal? Looking like a, can you see it back there? You can't see it back there. But she's just like, you're difficult. And I'm just like, I told you this from day one. I know it's not the best play, and I'm working on it. But it's like, if now kids are kids. Here, we're going to jump a little bit. So I got this student, right? And every time she wants to, like, go to the bathroom or doing stuff, she runs up to me, she, like, hits me on my arm. And I'm like, why are you punching me? Now, she's a sweet kid. You know, she does her work, she's quiet, whatever. But I don't want kids touching me. I don't care what the circumstances is, unless they're, like, dying. So I, like, I took away her recess. Like, that's what I do, right? They get 15 minutes recess, and then in increments of 5 minutes, it gets taken off. So she's never on the wall. Like, we have them sit against the wall. And she's like, she ran up to me. She's like, can I go to the bathroom? She's like, I'm like, why are you punching me? She's like, I didn't punch you. I said, you touched me. Don't touch me. And I'm not being, I just, you know, there's a respect. Students, teacher. So, but yeah, so very quickly, I my therapist would say boundaries. So I gave her the boundaries. Do not be in my personal space like that. Do not be calling me bro. Do not be saying any TikTok language to me, even if I think it's funny. I gotta hold my face like, yeah, that's pretty clever. But don't be talking to me like that. Now, there's people like, you're not my friend. I'm not saying all that, but you gotta have some boundaries, because if it blurs up. But so with this girl, I gave her my boundaries. Said, listen, I'm difficult. I don't like this. I don't like that. You're better off just erring on the safe side. Just don't even bother. This is kind of how we ended up, how it ended. So next week is my birthday. Yeah, I'll be 42. And all week or all month, I've been thinking what I should buy. The original plan was that I had in January, I was going to save up for a new computer, because my computer, which I don't even use, which is crazy, but, you know, it is a computer and it's faster than an iPad. I don't want to get a fancy iPad. So I was thinking of getting like a desktop computer, because that's better, being that I'm not going to be moving around so much now that I'm living here. In Japan, I'd be on the train all the time, you know, blah, blah, blah. But, and then I was like, maybe I could get a new beat machine, or maybe, I think I talked about this before, maybe I can get like my dental work done. I don't want to, but I tell you, if you notice I'm smiling, cheesing all the time, which could have benefits, you know, if I'm cheesing and smiling, people like that. There's algorithms that gravitate towards smiley people. I once was talking to someone, they're like, don't hate me. I was like, what? Like, after she would post her pictures on Instagram, she would like whiten her teeth. Her teeth were white to begin with, but she wanted it to look extra white because it matters, right? So I don't know. I haven't decided. And then I was thinking maybe I should just save it because, you know, you never know. Maybe my car breaks down. I might need money to pay for shit. So, and then I had this idea. Maybe I have DV tapes. For those who don't know, back in the day, we didn't have iPhones. We had little tapes. And I got a bunch of them from college and then a bunch of them in Japan. And I was very, again, disorganized with how I was doing the tapes. So it's like, I don't know what's on it or what's what. And they said every year you lose every 10 years you lose 20% of the data. So I can't find the stupid DV recorders or players anymore. So it would behoove me to get them converted now, or otherwise those memories are going to be gone. That's like $500 to do that. So these are like big ticket things, and I was talking about it, and the person I was talking to, she's like, "Oh, you just sound so excited about your birthday." I said, "No, I sound excited because I'm buying something for my birthday, giving me an excuse. Because it's my birthday, I can splurge on something that I probably don't need." She could have read it as, "Do you want me to buy that for your birthday?" But, you know, I came to the realization. I came to the conclusion, it's up to you to make you feel happy. You can't put that on other people. And now, if someone were to do that, that works. But so yeah, she's like, so she's like, "I got some plan for you for your birthday." And she told me, and I'm like, "Ah, that's cool. No complaints here. Whatever. You know, the idea is nice." So anyway, last week we were talking and we're having this heated fight, and she's like, "And I'm doing something nice for you on your birthday. So you ain't got to do shit for me on my birthday." You know how many times I have said that phrase? And she's like, "But you always talk about your birthday." I mean, it's my birthday. I'm going to talk about what I want. So I'm like, "You ain't got to do shit for me." And she said, and I was like, you know, for example, my mom passed away. If I put flowers on the grave, is it for my mom or is it for me? She said, "It's for you." I'm like, yeah, my mom don't need the flowers and I don't need to put flowers on my mom's grave. That's not how I show my affection. You know, I bring her up, I write about her, etc., etc. So then she said, "But you got me flowers. Who'd you get it for?" I said, "I got it for you." Like, but I mean, women like flowers. I don't. Last time someone brought me flowers, I think I threw them away. I don't know damn flowers. But I said, "Listen, I got you flowers. If I notice you didn't like the flowers, that's on me. I'm not gonna wait. I just won't buy you flowers anymore. Maybe you like chocolate. We'll figure it out." So then she said, "So you just don't want anything on your birthday?" I said, "No." She's like, "You sure?" I said, "I'm fine." She's like, "Okay." And it just kept going downhill from there. Now this is important because the same conversation happened last year. And as I was thinking this morning, it has happened so many times. Last year, my brother's like, "So what do you want to do on your birthday?" I'm like, "I just want to go to a little restaurant, you know, quiet, just, you know, maybe dad will come out." He usually doesn't celebrate birthdays. But, you know, just a small. He's like, "No, you got to have everyone, da-da-da." He's like making this big thing. I'm like, no, I just want something small. And then he's like, "You can't have a small birthday." Like, "It's my birthday." And then I was like, just don't do anything. You don't want to do it again. And then on my birthday, I think I made a video. 4 years ago in Japan, I was arguing with this girl all day. We're dating for a good whatever. But all day we're arguing. She hit me with, "Do you want to hear my thoughts?" I said, "No, I don't." She said, "I'm going to tell you anyway." It got to the point where by the end of the dinner, I just dipped. Because what? Because she bought a hotel room and blah, blah, blah. I was like, I do not want to spend the rest of my birthday. I went home and went to sleep like a king. And on, like many times. I think the earliest I could remember, maybe I was 16, and I got in a fight with that girlfriend at that time, and I don't know what the situation was, but I was with another girl on my birthday, because when I came home, there was these books on my door that the other girl bought me, which was great. It was Michael Crichton, so it was the Jason Bourne, and it was I think Lost World before the movies came out. So she knew what I wanted because she knew I read books, and she left them on the door because she already bought them, which was really touching. I think I found her on Facebook 10 years later, and I think I said, hey. But yeah, so in general, and I usually tell any girlfriend, tell anybody, that's how my birthday been. So don't treat it like other people's birthday. This is my birthday. I don't want a big fuss and muss. If you can't figure out what I want because you don't have that insight, then don't waste your time because you're not going to like that outcome. But anyway. So yeah, we broke up. And this is how we broke up. She said, you're being mean to me. I said, I'm being mean to you? What do you mean I'm being mean to you? She's like, you made me feel sad. And we had this ongoing thing. And I was just like, how am I making you feel sad? Because you weren't nice. And, you know, in the beginning, I'm trying to, like, backtrack. Well, I didn't mean that. And I'm like, I acknowledge that you feel a certain way. But it doesn't... And it was touchy because you could feel how you feel. Like, I could feel if this car doesn't beep at me, they're racist. I could feel that way. I could go home, I could make a video about it, I could rant, racist people. And then there's people like, yeah. Because there's always someone who's going to agree with you. Your friends, your therapist, your mom, whoever. Like, oh. Or I could just be like, they don't know me. Misunderstanding. Da-da-da-da-da. Like, and we would talk about this, and at the end of the conversation, like, I guess you're right. You know, I think too much. I'm like, But it just kept happening. Every week there'd be some incident. And then finally, she's going on about, you're so mean to me. And I'm like, listen, you want to see me be mean? You want to see the depth of meanness that I have buried down it? No, I don't want to be mean to nobody. I don't get off on that. Like, I've been using the analogy like a porcupine. I don't think porcupines get off on having people get stuck to their quills. Like, they're just walking around like, They just be chilling. Like, you could pet one. I have never petted a porcupine. Or maybe hedgehogs. I'm confusing the two. But rattlesnakes, like, you know, animals that just be chilling. They don't be bothering people until you bother them. Then, like a bee. A bee don't want to sting you because he's going to hurt himself and die. But if he gotta, he gotta. I feel like I'm in one of those categories. Except I'm not a bee. I'm more like a wasp. I get sting someone multiple times before. But I don't want to sting nobody. Anyway. So I'm like, you want to see me be mean? And I was, for a split second, I was going to regress back to an older version of me. Matthew 1.5. I'm up to Matthew 10.7. And I'm like, you know what? Whatever. We're done. Like, fine. I'm like, fine. Click, hang up, block, boom, blah, blah, boom. The end. And I hope she's okay. But, you know, it's out of my hands now. But I told her that's how I deal with things. I'm not going to sit there and go back and forth. We talked about it. And if we're still talking about it, then we just don't need to be together. Very simple. Like, it'd be like if I'm dating someone and they cheat on me. There's nothing else to talk about. Clearly, I'm not the person of your dreams. Go somewhere. The end. But I did notice, because I was saying I was talking to her like every day for like 8 to 12, sometimes 1, every day. Now there's a big hole in what I was doing for the past 3 weeks. But I just went back to what I was doing before I met her, reading books. And working on music. I mean, I was working on music consistently. If you were to listen to the songs, you could hear some beautiful romantic songs. Since she was listening to them, I would drop some in there every now and then. She said that her therapist told her not to jump into relationships. Don't dive in. So I made this whole song about diving into relationships. It wasn't so much like you should dive in because everything's going to work out. It was just more, you don't know what's going to happen. Maybe you swim, maybe you drown. So throughout anything, for the most part, my interactions are pretty straightforward. If you listen to what I was saying, I never said we're going to be forever. But anyway. But yeah. And then I blocked her from Instagram, so if she really is like that type of person, she would have to make another account. But I made another song where I'm just like, that's why you shouldn't dive in the water if you can't swim. It wasn't malicious, just, full circling. If I was going to be malicious, I would have been like, took the original song and remixed the other song to, but yeah. So yeah, as I said, I've been going back to what I've been going back to and, learning shit. And I started listening to this audiobook about finance. I guess it's finance. It would be in that section in the bookstore. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, the guy? Kawasaki or some shit. And actually, we got some time. But I'm gonna put that on the end. All right. If I could manage to come back to that point. So work, that's another thing last time we were talking about. So last time we talked, I think I was saying how the teacher, sometimes she's nice to me, sometimes she's not. The 6th grade teacher, I've been working in the 5th grade. I don't know where I left you guys off at. Don't know if you care. I saw this Instagram. I hate this. I always start these. I saw this Instagram. It makes it feel like I'm on Instagram every day. I am, but I'm not like. So this comedian woman, she's like Chinese, I believe, and she talks like she's like from the valley. Maybe she like a valley girl. And her comedy is just like, hi. I can't do her voice, but she has like, think of Valley. Hi. I'm from China. I immigrated to America. I'm not leaving. You're stuck with me. Like, that's her whole thing. But just the way, like, I think it's because she looks the way she looks, but she sounds the way she sounds. Like, she's a pretty girl who sounds that way. And it just works. She got a little blue check mark. I don't know the rest about her story. But her comedy's like that. Like, she just says, I got my lips shaved. You gotta watch her. I'm not gonna. Anyway, so she posted yesterday. She said, I'm not a joke machine. Please comment if you think I'm not a... And it was a weird, like, it seemed like she's having a life crisis of some sort. And everyone's like, we love you. I just put thumbs up. So I don't know you. I watch you. It'd be great if you gave me a shout out. Give me a nice vocal drop for an album or something. But I don't know you. Wish you the best. But I just put a thumbs up. But anyway, I forget where I was connected to. Oh yeah, I was just saying, I don't know if you guys watching me like that. Listen to all this stuff. Like, I wonder how Matt's doing. I'm telling you, it's all connected. Anyway, so the 6th grade teacher was doing her thing, basically doing what the 5th grade teacher, like, they just yell at the kids every 3 seconds. So I'm in the 5th grade, and then another teacher came in, and she slowly, well, she didn't steal the kids, because she came in there like, hey, I'm not trying to take over. You do you. I'm just going to try to get their grades situated. But then the principal asked me, like, how do you feel about this teacher taking over? I'm like, well, that's probably best because she's a teacher in a Catholic school who's been there for like 20 years. She's a better teacher than I don't know if I'm coming back to the school next year. I can't really teach a Catholic book when I never read it. It's like, here's a book. Today we're going to learn about trees. I got to look at the tree and, yes, trees are good for nature. Write that down. Like, they're not learning so much from me. Now, the other things, respect and discipline and all that, patience, they'll get that from me. But as far as the stuff they need to, like, take on tests, I wasn't trained to do that. So I just kind of said, all right, yeah. So then eventually she took the 5th grade class out of the building to the other building because she had her own class to begin with, her own space. So now the 5th graders are gone out of there's 2 buildings, middle school, elementary. So they're gone. But I didn't feel bad because I was telling someone they're in good hands. Like, she's a great teacher. I wish every teacher could be more like her, you know? And then another teacher was commenting, wow, they really changed. Like, these kids used to be unruly, used to not be able to stand in lines, and now they're like standing in line. And I mean, I started the process, and the teacher acknowledged that, yeah, you would have got there eventually, but she had more systems in place. And she has I'll call your mom. I can't call anybody's mom. I don't want it. Well, some of their moms be looking nice, but I can't be calling them like that. So they threw me up into the 8th grade class, and I'm helping another teacher who, again, is a yeller. I guess what it is they're used to Catholic schools being very, like, Catholic, you know? Now it's more like a public school, but it's a Catholic school. The kids are just unruly. Some of the kids are not even Catholic. They're just there for the reasons that they're there. Maybe it's a cheaper school, close school, I don't know. But yeah, she's up there yelling at the kids, and these are 8th graders, and it's the girls. The girls are just sassing her. She'd be like, sit down. The kids be like, sit down. They make and then she'll turn around like, I think you guys need to learn. And the girl's like, well, I think you need to shut up. I thought that was pretty, I mean, it's rude, but just the way they're just so confident. She asked the kids, and this is the girls, she'd be like, can you read this? The girl like, no. And the teacher just backs down. What can you do? You can't force someone to read. I mean, you should be. It's schoolwork. I was slowly winning them over. That's my thing. I just sit there, observe, post up. I've been doing that all my life. Like, when I got to Japan, I didn't know the lay of the land. So I pop up at the club, just be chilling in the corner, seeing how it works. Every club's different. There's some clubs where, I mean, you don't need to hear my analysis on club life in Japan because it's not that way anymore. But back in the day when they used to play the Jamaican songs, I come out there, that boom, and it'd be a rap. Now they play that rave type. You can't do all that. They play like 3 Jamaican songs. But yeah. Anyway, so I'm up there with the 8th grade teacher so the 8th grade teacher quit. So they took another teacher who was teaching the IU classes. So they pulled her to bring her into the 8th grade. And I mean, there was another 8th grade teacher who quit. Like, I tell you, this is the way the school is. It's crazy like that. So she's in there and the kids are just being disrespectful. And one day the teacher got so upset. And it wasn't like she did it on purpose, but she closed the door, but the wind, because we have 2 doors and it kind of made a little vacuum and the momentum, and that door went, bang! And all the teachers heard it. I found this out after the fact. They're just like, why is she slamming doors? All the kids were kind of like, why is she slamming doors? And even she was just like, I'm sorry, Mr. Bailey. I slammed the door. I should have calmed down. And I felt really bad because she's such a nice teacher. But these kids, man, they will get inside you like a virus and infect you if you let them. And like the next day, she still must have been feeling a little, because she's a really nice, I've never seen her, when she's with the 6th grader, she was also yelling. I'm telling you, these kids do that to you. But she came in the next day. She got me a donut. She got me a card. I didn't even read the card. I don't want to read the card. It's probably going to say, I'm so sorry about my behavior. Nah, I get it. You don't got to apologize. Do you. Take a breather. So I was telling her, if you ever need a break, just let me know. And then you go walk around the school or something. I'll be here to make sure they don't I don't know. Can I stop a whole classroom of kids if they were out to do something? But then the 6th grade teacher, she quit. And the principal's like, can you go down there? And so I started with the 6th grade. And, I'm bouncing around. So now I'm back in the 6th grade. And I walk in there. And the kids are like, hey, they're like, where's the teacher? I'm like, I don't know. She's sick. So that's what I was told. A whole week goes by, no teacher. And then the next week, the principal's like, can you just watch them? If you feel comfortable watching them? I'm like, I was with them before. I don't know what happened. Because I found out, I went to this open mic with some of the other teachers, and they told me that she quit. So this was a good week before I was told officially by the principal. And 2 weeks, the kids found out 2 weeks later by email to their parents and whatever. But so I go on Monday, and the teacher who quit, she took everything. She took her desk. She took the little posters of smiling. She took the posters of everything educational. She took all those out. She took all the pencils. She took all the love. She just left them. She didn't give no explanation. Didn't say goodbye. Just out. Now, again, I could feel for her. She was the kids, we're in a school where you can't discipline the kids, right? You can't put them in detention or in school suspension. You can't expel them. Because the principal's like, oh no, we can't do that. I mean, I was in the room yesterday. I shouldn't have been in the room, but, where am I going to go? Y'all came into this room because the principal had to, the 6th grade is so extra that nobody wants to sub within the school or outside the school. They don't want to come back and sub. So the principal had to sub. And then she had me in the classroom helping out. Again, I'm not a teacher, but I can be in the classroom, whatever. Get them to lunch and recess and whatever. So I'm in the classroom and she's having her meeting in there, and she's saying that another teacher, I don't know teacher's name, but she's like, yeah, this teacher wants to hold 4 kids back. She can't do that. Well, if the kids ain't learning, you got to hold them back. So there's a mess up. And then how the principal got into this position, the principal before her got fired. So she just stepped in, big mess from the beginning. Big mess from the beginning, man. And so she's always been nice to me. And my schedule's pretty flexible. I'll get paid for the hours I am in that building. And no one is coming down on how I teach. So I'm good. The 6th grade teacher was coming down on me. So I go into the classroom and the kids ask me, they say, Mr. Bailey, are you a teacher? Are you going to teach us? And then the one kid's like, he's not a teacher. She just comes, he's not a teacher. And then I'm just and then she's like, yeah, Mrs. Bradley said that he's not a teacher. It would be funny if he was I don't get the whole, I didn't hear the whole conversation, but just the way she was saying it. Why would you be explaining this kind of thing to the students? That level. I mean, I knew she quit. I didn't go in there hey guys, she quit. I just said, I don't know. They said, where's all this stuff? I said, she's cleaning it. I mean, that's up for the principal to tell the kids in the way she feels fit. But this teacher, the one who quit, yeah. And so he's said, it'd be funny if Mr. Bailey was teaching them. I was in that room for 3 weeks doing the best I could. And I taught them. I taught them the math. I was teaching them how to make a line, teaching them about respect. The whole 3 weeks, I think, which it kind of makes sense. The whole time she was expecting that class to blow up because, two teachers quit for the 5th grade. And the whole time we're in there, I pulled out the suggestion boxes. I was we had a rapport, and now when I see the kids, because I ain't with them now, they're all smiles because we have gained I have gained a level of respect. You know, I like pick something up, thank you, and they pick it up. Before it was like, pick something up, it's not mine. Where the other teachers have failed using brute force, love, kindness. So I was thinking, I could imagine she was getting upset at the fact that these kids are listening. So I said to the kid, because they're like, it's funny that I would have been a teacher. I said, well, it's funny that she's not here now. And then the kid's like, oh, I wasn't trying to be funny, but you know, she's such a great teacher. Why did she leave them? You know, without even saying goodbye. But hey, we all got to do what's best for us, I guess. I wouldn't want anyone to be forced into some situation. But yeah, so I'm with the kids now in 6th grade, and at first they were happy because there's another sub in there that, like, she just be yelling. Like, it seems like they just yell at the kids all the time. And it gets them quiet down, but they just get loud again. Like, when has yelling ever worked? I don't know. So they're like, oh, we're happy you're here because we don't want her here. I'm like, I'm just here for now. I don't know where I'm going to go. And then by Thursday, they're just like, you don't let us do anything. You don't let us. And they're so upset. They're so upset that I even made a little joke, and they were just like, whatever. I'm like, I let you breathe. But I don't want them out of their seats. I don't want them eating food in the classroom. Like, everything I don't want them to do is, it was a rule. The other teachers, they would be so flexible. Okay, you can eat now, but you can't eat. Like, it was so confusing. I'm just like, nobody can eat. Nobody can move. Got to be fair across the board. And it's like, how comes I say, I'm walking down there, don't worry. And it's just like, But I accomplished all that without yelling at them. My voice don't get above this level. Like, if I got to get to someone, I got to literally walk all the way over to them, like, what you doing there? Why are you acting so? Yesterday, I had a kid who's just, all day, he's just talking. And he's like, sit down. I'm not sitting down. I'm standing. Should I stand up? Like, what are you doing? And then, like, I have to take away his recess, and he's out there drawing on the wall. I'm like, don't draw on the wall. He has it in his hand. He's like, I don't got nothing in my hand. So I get down there. I'm just, listen, man. It's in your hand right now. It's like, I know. Like, I don't lie to you. Don't lie to me. You know? You do better. That's it. There's no need to yell at the kid. But my secret weapon, because I sat with the kid, right? Because I took away his lunch. So I was thinking of, my secret weapon is, what are other things that I could take away or do that would be worse than losing recess? Recess is like a 15-minute thing. You'll get over it. So I started having them sit with me at lunch. They got their stupid little iPads and Chromebooks. I hate those. I mean, I love technology, but we don't use technology in the school because for whatever reason, some of the computers do not, like, you can't get on the educational apps. So if the whole class is, all right, educational apps, there's like 5 of them. It doesn't work for me. Now, some are slick. They figured out how to block it from inside their own computer. But then it's just like, and then we got one technology lady who never shows up at work. It's like, you go up to her little office, she ain't there. And I'm like, I can do all the Apple stuff. And we got like an advanced, like, from her computer, she got the eye. She could see what everyone is doing on her computer. Probably even on my little teacher computer. She'd be like, he's always on Apple. Yes, I am. Bored as hell sitting in the back of the class. But, yeah, so they, for the most part, in between, like, assignments, they're just on their iPad, Chromebooks, playing games, watching YouTube. I saw a kid on Mario, on some, like, it's a Mario, like a literal Mario game, but he's playing on his Chromebook. Another kid, I mean, it was the same kid, but he was making beats on an app. Now, that was pretty cool. I'm like, wow. Because for the 5th graders, I was going to have them download GarageBand and teach them how to make some beats. So the fact that he found, because he's a little drummer, all day he'd be drumming, and his drum skills are pretty nice. But it's disruptive because his classmates try to drum with him. And even this boy would be like, shh, you ain't doing it right. One time he told his kid, stop it, you are just a waste of space. He didn't say it like that, but he just told the kid, like, what you're doing is garbage. Kid, but I'm trying. He's like, well, try harder. Pretty harsh, but he wasn't lying. But yeah, so yesterday I'm just in the hallway, and this teacher, I don't even know her name. There's a lot of teachers who come and go, like auxiliary, what do you call it? Administration type people. I wasn't officially introduced to them. And she's just like, Mr. Bailey, you're doing a great job with those kids. I love your style. You're very calm. You show the kids respect. I'm like, well, I remember to say thank you, but it's something like, you shouldn't have to tell somebody that. I was like, you went to the bathroom and you wiped your ass. You're very clean. I noticed that you use soap. That is a good, like, you don't need to thank people. But again, this is the school that I'm at. I almost said my school. I can't go back. Like, if I were to go back and work officially as a teacher, I'm getting a super pay cut. I need money. But I don't like saying that either. The kids need teachers like me. So I don't know. But, so I'm like, thank you, whatever. But like, I remember last week when when the teacher was here, so maybe 2 weeks ago, we got to dismiss the kids. We got these stupid little walkie-talkies, and we got an iPad. I don't have an iPad with the information. I just got a walkie-talkie. And they'll be like, hello. They'll be like, okay, Lewis, it's time to go home. And I'll say, Lewis, can you go home? Lewis will be sitting there chatting with Betty. And then, you gotta get him out. So I'm in the other room and I could hear the teacher yelling, Lewis, go home! You gotta go home! Like, she's so loud, I can hear in the other room. So now I'm in her room, and I'm just like, Lewis, it's time to go home. Goodbye. Lewis is taking his good old time, like, Lewis, if you don't get your, well, I don't say that, but Lewis, if you want to sit and talk now, you can sit tomorrow on the wall. Lewis jumps up and he's, goodbye, Mr. Bailey. Like, there's so many ways to do stuff without, now, does it work for every student? No. Is it a slow process? Yeah. But yeah, that's school. All right, and this is the last bit of this. So I was listening to the finance, and I drive like a half an hour to work every day. So every day I can get about an hour in. Some days I get stuck on a loop because I listen to one of my songs that I made, and I just be jamming. Like the song I made yesterday, 2 days ago, was like, get on. And I say something like, we got to incarcerate Dalai Lama. Well, I'm just coming off the top, but we got to incarcerate Dalai Lama for the trauma that he insisted in the kids. What is the karma? Throw him in jail. They could suck his tongue. Give him no bail. Some shit like that. But, so I was just listening like, wow, that's pretty insightful. I'm not preachy. I'm not like, so I just listened to that on loop for a whole 30 minutes, just driving up. But usually I try to get in my audiobook, finance book, and it really started to plant some seeds in my brain, which is perfect because it's spring now, right? And it's like, the guy, he said this. He said, people think that your house is an asset. It's actually a liability. A lot of people get upset when you say that. So yesterday I was talking to my mentor, and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. Houses are a liability. No, it's not. It's an asset. Now, I don't want to argue with my mentor or anybody, but there's a logic. An asset is something that gets you money. Cash flow. A liability is anything that money comes out. Negative cash flow. So your house, you're going to pay your income tax or house tax or school tax. You got to do the upkeep. You got your oil. You got to fix whatever. You ain't making no money. And then depending on how the market goes and the whatever, all that shit is changing. And then you have the big housing. And I don't know what I'm talking about. This is just one little audio book. But so I don't want. So when I learn something, I don't be like, because I don't know. So I have this kind of, well, this is what some random guy told me. I don't know. But just it got me thinking. Like, YouTube could have been an asset. Because I did generate money from it. All the apps and equipment I buy, liabilities. I don't make money from it. And you got to upkeep them. Every year they're like, well, we got a new version and it won't work with your new operating system, so you got to upgrade. We'll give you a discount. That's their business model, which I get sucked in. Today I bought a freaking a sound pack for this app. Do I need the sound pack? It's just the sounds inside the pack used, but it get me every time. Even as I was pushing by, I'm like, I don't need this. Up, buy, download. And then I listen to a couple of sounds, like, I don't even like the sounds. Like, that's a good business model. They know their market. Since, as I said, I'm on day 100. Hooray, hooray. What's up, squirrel? He's loud and busy. He didn't even run. I mean, in Japan, I didn't see so many squirrels. It'd be like one per every 80 humans out here. So anyway, like I made a song that sounds like I was trying to emulate some trap music. And I had an idea that I could sell that song because I don't want to be known for trap music. I mean, I got nothing against trap music, but even in my trap music, I mean, they could change the words to what they want, but I can't promote negativity, violence, sexism. You know, there's a big world of stuff you can talk about, but I can't be all like, fuck that trick. I just can't do it. Because I'm in school, as I have been most of my life, teaching or going. And I hear my kids singing these lyrics, and they don't even know what it means. Like, I didn't know what it means. So I need them to be singing. So the kid was like, I think he was singing, I woke up in a new Bugatti. I don't know who sings that. You could tell me. I'd rather him sing, I woke up this morning and the money I invested in the community over there was getting double interest. But it got to be just right. So he's just, he's not thinking he's like smart. You don't want to be a nerd. You want to be rich, but you don't want to be a nerd. My dividends getting dividend. Can't say that. My dividends getting dividends, bruh. I don't know. So that's where I'm thinking. And then have like I don't know, someone rap that, and then I could get money on the back end. That would be an asset to me. Like, they're selling their catalogs now for all that type of money. I wonder if they would buy my catalog. I mean, I'm not going to get like millions, but I got a good, I don't know, 200, 300 songs that's never been heard to the general public. So that's what I'm thinking about, right? But when I woke up this morning, and I had these thoughts, and that's where this video came from. I just wanted to share those thoughts. I don't know anybody who thinks about these things. And it's like annoying. You know, why not? Why not think about this stuff? Because, like, you know, the argument, I saw this guy, what's his name? Richard Branson? Is it? Not, that's Virgin guy. The other guy. He used to date Katy Perry. And now he's like an activist type guy. British guy. So he's on some talk show and he's just like rattling off Yeah, and they make $1 billion, and you know what funny? They make so much, and he's just going on. And yeah, these companies that make billions of dollars, it kind of sucks for the people who make $0 or negative. The ones who are like vape people, the people who make vape. I'm sure their initial, like I had a kid in the 6th grade vaping. Tell me, these kids, man. But I'm pretty sure when they made the product, they thought, we got to get the kids. And because it's not cigarettes, we could target the kids. Like I'm pretty sure that was always on the table. Like, hey, so technically it's not cigarettes and it doesn't follow those laws. And I'm pretty sure their initial studies must have seen that it's not good for you. But they pushed ahead. And I'm pretty sure they would have known that before What's-Her-Face got locked up in Russian jails, people would have been doing that. They would have figured that out too. And they just kind of let that. Now they make billions of dollars and the fallout happens. Now, who do we blame? We blame the company. Well, they're partial to blame. We blame society. If you're inhaling stuff and you get sick from it, no one forced you. We blame the people who figure out the loopholes. But yeah, it is what it is, right? But anyone can be in those businesses. Like, if you want to work in the vape industry, now, easier said than done, I get that. But there's a lot of industries where you can make a lot of money doing shady shit. No one's stopping you. You just don't want to. And there's ways to make money doing positive, eco-friendly stuff. Hard work, maybe, but I would say you don't want to do that either. So where does it leave? You. Us. Like, again, bouncing back to my finance book. Now, you know, it's his book. He's writing the way he writes. You don't got to agree with it. But he says there's 4 different classes. There's employee. That's what most of us are. We work for someone. They give us a paycheck. The government taxes the shit out of us. There's self-employed. That's like you having a t-shirt company. The government taxes us more. You get taxed more than being employed. Then there's the business. Start your own business with 500 people. The government does not tax you as much. They protect you. They'd be like, hey, you out here making business for us to tax people. We're going to give you tax breaks. And then there's investors. They get the biggest tax cuts, according to this guy. Don't be shooting the messenger. Now, to make your own business, to be an employee, just go down to McDonald's. I want to work here. Pretty straightforward. To be self-employed, you just make it yourself. Pretty straightforward. To be a business, or even to get your little LLC, now you got to do a lot of paperwork. Now, according to this guy, according to the book, partnerships. Like, if you ever notice if you ever turn on Judge Judy or any court case things with regular people, it'd be like, yeah, I let him borrow $500 and he ain't paying me back. And he's like, well, it was a gift. And then they'll be like, it was no gift. And then she'll be like, well, I did get him a this and a that. Those were gifts, but this was not a gift. And it'll come up, well, he cheated on me, so it's no longer a gift. And they'll go back and forth. Now, rich people don't do that. They'd be like, well, I'm going to give you $500. And every month I expect to get 0.00007% on it, which will compound. You're like, 7%? Whatever. I got you. That shit, by the time you decide, okay, here's your $500. Well, thank you for the principal. But the amount that has accrued is $3,687. I like all my money right now. And as the stipulation of the contract was, and they just bury you. Now, it sounds very rude and crude, and you feel abused in your relationship, but they're protecting their assets, which certain people don't like. I think that way, but I don't want to be that way. I don't want to come into something here. Here's my beat. I want money up front and money on the back end. Just, do what you do with it. Just remember me. But that remember me thing, people forget. People find, where we at here? We're at a whole hour. We're going to end it right here. But yeah, I hope you guys are good. I'm good. Just living the life of a rhyming guy. Check out my my thing. We're up to day 104. Today's 105. And I'm gonna be down in Philly next week, so if anyone's in Philly, holla at your boy. And yeah.